You've watched the Harry Potter series 17 times. Friends, 23. You've seen The Office so many times. You know exactly when Jim's going to look at the camera, and somehow you're about to press play on season 1, episode 1 again. Your partner thinks you're insane. Your Netflix algorithm has given up trying to recommend new things. Your kids are begging you to watch something made this decade. But here's what's actually happening in your brain that makes you choose Jim and Pam over literally thousands of new shows. And no, you're not stuck in the past. You're actually onto something. Let's start with the obvious question. Why would anyone watch something when they already know what happens? Michael Scott is going to say, that's what she said. We know this. Ross and Rachel are getting off the plane together. Spoiler alert from 2004. Harry is going to defeat Voldemort. Ferris is getting his day off. But your brain is playing 4D chess, while everyone else thinks you just can't handle change, because it turns out that knowing what happens next is exactly the point. Psychologists call this the mere exposure effect, which sounds boring until you realize it. Explains why you emotionally connect with a sitcom from 2005 more than your actual neighbors. The more you're exposed to something, the more you like it. Simple, elegant, slightly concerning. When you think about your relationship with the Princess Bride, think about your comfort show for a second. Maybe it's Parks and Rec. Maybe it's Seinfeld. Maybe you watched back to The Future more times than you've been to the gym this year. No judgment. Same. Honestly, when you watch it, you're not hunting for plot twists. You're wrapped in a cognitive blanket fort. Your brain craves predictability in a world that is aggressively unpredictable. Did your boss send a weird email today? Watch an episode where you know exactly how the conflict resolves. Bill's doing that thing where they keep existing. At least, you know Chandler and Monica end up happy. Someone in your life just discovered a personality trait that's testing your patience. Good thing you've memorized every line of The Breakfast Club, and your brain has a dirty little secret about all this. Your brain is actually working less when you rewatch, which sounds like an insult, but is actually the entire appeal. When you watch something new, your brain is in full detective mode. Who's that character? Why did they say that? What's going to happen? Is this foreshadowing or just a weird lamp? Exhausting. But rewatching, that's cognitive cruise control. A study from psychologist Crystal Russell found that rewatching gives us a sense of control and safety. No surprises, no betrayals, no shocking character deaths that ruin your entire week. You already survived emotional damage once. Now you're just visiting old friends. But wait, there's something even weirder happening. You're not actually experiencing the same thing twice. I know. It's literally the same episode, same jokes, same won't they tension, but you've changed. Watching The Lion King as a kid, you're Simba running away from responsibility. Watching it in your 20s, you're Mufasa suddenly aware of mortality. Watching it later in life, you're crying the first 10 minutes because you finally understand every single word Mufasa said about legacy and time. Same with The Matrix. First viewing, cool fight scenes and bullet time. Later viewings, an uncomfortably accurate metaphor for choosing comfort over truth. And somehow you're okay with it. Different life stage, different lens, same movie. New emotional unlocks. But there's another layer here that nobody talks about, the social one. Remember when you first watched your favorite show? Maybe you watched it with your sister every Thursday night back, when you actually had to be home at a specific time to catch it live. Maybe The Big Lebowski was your entire personality for a while. Maybe you and your roommate watched Die Hard every December before it was even a debate, whether it's a Christmas movie. These shows and movies become time capsules. When you rewatch, you're not just watching the show, you're visiting a previous version of yourself. You're reconnecting with the person you were when these characters first mattered to you, and sometimes you're grieving someone you used to watch it with, the friend who moved across the country, the parent who introduced you to Groundhog Day, the ex who ruined the Notebook, but you still watch it anyway. Because spite is a powerful motivator. Rewatching is comfort, but it's also remembering, keeping someone close through the shared experience of a story you both loved. All right, deep breath. Let's bring this back to earth. There's also a very simple reason you keep rewatching things. You're too tired to make decisions. Decision fatigue is real. You've made approximately 7,000 choices today. What to eat, what to wear, which emails to ignore while looking productive. Choosing a new show. That's another decision. What if it's bad? What if you invest 3 episodes and hate it? What if they get canceled after 1 season? What if everyone says it's amazing, but you think it's trash? Or you could just put on Goodwill Hunting for the 30th time and cry at the "it's not your fault" scene like a well-adjusted human being. 0 risk, maximum comfort, peak efficiency. And finally, the part that might make you feel seen or slightly called out. For a lot of people, rewatching is a form of emotional regulation. It's self-soothing when the world feels like chaos, and let's be honest, when doesn't. You need something stable, something where the good guys win and the jokes land and everything resolves in 90 minutes or 22 minutes. Therapist Dr. Pamela Rutledge has pointed out that rewatching familiar content can reduce anxiety and provide a sense of control. It's like a weighted blanket for your brain. Predictable emotional beats, safe, sadness, controlled crying during that one scene in Toy Story 3 that destroys everyone. You're not avoiding new experiences. You're actively choosing peace. So the next time someone judges you for watching When Harry Met Sally for the 15th time, you can hit them with the science. You're not stuck in the past. You're engaging in a psychologically beneficial practice that promotes emotional stability, provides comfort through predictability, and strengthens your sense of identity through meaningful narrative repetition. Or just tell them to mind their business. That works, too. Look, new shows are great, amazing, but there's nothing wrong with returning to the stories that shaped you, the ones that make you laugh at the same jokes, the ones that make you cry even though you know it's coming, the ones that remind you of who you were before life got complicated. Your comfort show isn't a crutch. It's a companion, a reminder of who you were, who you are, and maybe who you're becoming. It's a little piece of consistency in an inconsistent world. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with Michael Scott again for the 19th time, and I regret nothing. If this hit home for you, please subscribe. And if you want to support these deep dives, hit that join button to become a channel member. I would genuinely appreciate your support. Here's some more videos that I think you'll resonate with. Same energy, different angle. See you there.